Okay. Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Syed Ali Murtaza Ridwan Sir, IAS, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, respected Professor Gatta Pushpa Chakrapanina, Director Academic, respected Register Professor E. Sudharani Ma'am, respected Professor T. Mrunalini Ma'am, HOD Department of Education, Usmania University, today's resource person, and my colleagues, friends, and other members, a very good afternoon to all. The Faculty of Education started an education forum on 5th September 2022. Forum is Vidya Vijnana Vedika. In this regarding, the faculty organized a national webinar on insights and reflection on NEP 2020. In higher education, NEP 2020 provides valuable insights and recommendations on various aspects of education that include moving towards quality research to establish of National Research Foundation, continuous professional. In NEP 2020, there are 24 chapters in which 19 chapters are covered by school education and mentioned some major changes. So before discussing the topic, now I request Professor G. Mary Sunanda, HOD, to introduce Professor T. Mrunalini to all the distinguished guests. Thank you.
Thank you, Javarkala Garu. Good afternoon, everybody. And this is a time for me to introduce Professor Mrunalini Talla. We are not aware of Madam, but for the benefit of the participants, it is my responsibility to give a gist of her profile and wait for the lecture. Professor Mrunalini Talla is a renowned academician, has 33 years of experience in teacher education research. She is a BSc graduate, has 4 PG degrees, MA Philosophy, MA Psychology, MA English, and Masters in Education, along with MPhil and PhD in Education. Madam, now she is serving the IISc Usmania University in the capacity of HOD and HOD for Department of Lifelong Learning for Usmania University. Formerly, she had held positions as Dean Faculty of Education, Usmania University, and also
I got it.
Satavahana University, Telangana University. She was appointed as convener for 3 times, 2019, 2020, 2024. She received a Best Teacher Award in the year 2023. She produced 24 PhDs and 21 MPhils in education. She also penned 30 books, of which were publishers were from Neil Kamal to, like we have other publishers. And more than 100 papers she presented in national and international conferences. Dear friends, Madam has a feather in her cap. Like she conducted 600 lectures, delivered 600 lectures, 44 programs she conducted on themes related to teacher education and school education, sponsored by MHRD, UGC, ICSSR, SSA, MGN, CRE, AP State Council for Higher Education. Being a resource person for a 10-day research methodology workshop sponsored by ICSSR, New Delhi, and a 2-day international workshop on qualitative research in collaboration with Northampton University, UK, are the milestones in her career. She has also designed curricula for various courses at the university level. Professor Mrunalini Madam was also the external examiner for so many students for PhD and MPhil Viva Voce.
Thank
NEP has undertaken 6 national level projects sponsored by UGC, Aga Khan, NGC, ICSSR, SERP, SSA, NUPA. She is a resource person to PMMM, TC, HRDC, Usmania University, JNTU, H Urdu University, Hyderabad Central University for your kind information. Madam has a great passion for teaching and relentlessly extends continuous support to many institutions as a resource person. She is a humble and benevolent person despite her exceptional achievements. Madam, we are honored to have you as a resource person on the topic NEP 2020 Insights and Reflections. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Sunanda, and thank you, Chandrakala, and all the faculty of the Ambedkar Open University for making me a part of this program and interact with the teachers, students, and coordinators related to this open education. So, friends, as all of you know,
Arrange English unna.
please mute your microphones. Mute your microphones. Mute your microphones.
Please use.
All the participants on the platform, I request all of you to mute the microphone. Unless you want to speak, don't unmute your microphone.
ఒక్క నిమిషం.
This one M85 ఉంటుంది.
ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్. M85 సార్.
M85.
Yes, I got it. I got it. I think I'm audible. So, friends, this is really a nice thing that you have made an arrangement to connect to the audience related to Open University. So, first of all, I would like to interact with the audience on the platform, except the faculty of Ambedkar, remaining all who have joined on the platform, who are new to this area of teacher education. How many of you have really seen the document of policy 2020 on the platform? Those who have just joined, those who have no idea about the policy, how many of you have not seen the document? Just to raise your hand and so that we can see, or unmute your videos so that we can see you. Those who are on the platform, we can see you. Or you can just raise your hand and say that you have seen or not seen. Mowgli, you have seen, I know. Okay. Others, please, those who are new to this area, how many of you have seen, at least tell me, and not seen maybe many, seen maybe less. So tell me. I know online nobody will respond. We have to question and also answer. This is really a very great scenario we are encountering. Throughout these sessions I've been facing with so many teachers, higher education teachers, technology teachers, engineering teachers. I've interacted n number of teachers on platforms. None of them will respond to any question when you ask. They just unmute and I don't know where they will be. Hope you are all listening to me. And I also assume that you have seen the document. You have seen the document, if not thoroughly discussed on the document, at least seen the document. So this is the document which looks in color to all of you. This is the document. So I think most of them know about the story of this policy also. 2 minutes time, I don't take much time. All of us were in pandemic and seriously dwelling in the problem and crisis of pandemic. That time, this particular document draft has seen the light of the day. 2019 November, this draft policy with 483 pages and came into light. And everybody across the nation started debating and discoursing on this particular area. And everybody started giving their suggestions. So they have kept in the public domain, more than 1 lakh suggestions were given by all the stakeholders of the country, and they have considered the expert committee under Kastur Rangan chairmanship. They all have considered these particular suggestions And finally, they came out with this small document of 66 pages, which is a very small document to look at. But I consider this document, every line, every word, every page as very, very important, that we need to read this document at least 10 to 20 times to really get to know the insights about this particular document. That is the only humble suggestion from my side to all the stakeholders and also participants on this platform. Please communicate the same, and also you do it. If you read at least minimum 10 times, I think you will be able to get the total insights and gist of this particular document. So, with this small opening remarks about the policy document, and you also know that the frameworks related to teacher education are yet to be released. ITEP have come, school education have come, and early childhood education have come, and national professional standards document came, mentoring document came, and credit framework also came. So these all documents which are anti, or rather subsidiary documents, which will supplement to this major policy document. And also there are debates happening on all these documents everywhere. And we know that the government is very serious, and the central government is very serious about this policy, and they are implementing this policy. And in that particular context, the ITEP 4-year ITEP program has been launched right from last year onwards. In some of the universities like Urdu University and many central universities, NIT Warangal in Hyderabad, these two have already launched this program, and Central University of Hyderabad also has the permission for this ITEP program. And many state universities are yet to take an initiative, except one or two. BA education, like that 2 years back, it started in Mahabub Nagar, one of the colleges. But otherwise, none of the state universities made an attempt to initiate this ITEP program. This is as far as teacher education is concerned, because we are all concerned about teacher education. If you want everything, the holistic idea about the policy, I would start right from the beginning. Or if you want me to restrict to higher education, I will straight away go to higher education and focus little bit on teacher education and complete the session. Chandrakala should tell me, shall I go straight away to higher education or have a glance at all the policy? Whatever you say, I will go with that. So friends, we will just have a, yes, holistic view. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Right. So I think it is, see, it is visible. It's visible. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I'll just start off and take the glance at this policy. So this is all about the policy, the title, this is all. And we can just know, all of us are familiar with this document. We know that this whole, Chandrakala has already mentioned, there are 19 aspects related to school education and higher education, and remaining there are 4 parts actually in this. First part deal with school education, second with the higher education, third with the other key areas like professional education, adult education, promotion of Indian languages, technology, and online digital education. This comes under part 3, and part 4 is making it happen. That is the strategies for the implementation. That was then when 2020 policy came into force. But actually speaking, last 4 years, there are lots of debates happening in all the HRDCs. Then now PMMTT, we are calling them, Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya Teacher Training Centers. So all these centers are seriously discoursing on 7 major themes of this particular policy document, which are concerned with the higher education. So school education, all of us know the major components of the school education. And before even going to those major components, we can take the on hand very quickly the vision key principles. Like basically they are more interested in creating access to early childhood education, and also they are focusing on the curriculum pedagogical structures and learning outcomes and competencies that are incorporated into the school complexes and accreditation process. Also they are going to implement right from the schooling, not only at the higher education. Then teachers also, they have made lot of focus in chapter 5 in the school education and chapter 15 in higher education. Both the places they mentioned about teacher education and what are expected for the teacher education, targets for the teacher education, and all aspects of teacher education they have mentioned in chapter 5 in school education and chapter 15 in higher education. Then also they discussed in this presentation, I will also have little focus on the new features and also focus on the equity, gender, and special needs. Because these are the major concerns of the policy and also are the key principles of this policy document. And hope all of you have read this policy vision statement. Maybe hundreds of times we are talking about this vision policy statement. We know that the policy statement starts with a very beautiful note of having the roots, towards the fundamental rights, duties, the sense of respect towards all these aspects. And also it is rooted in the very important Indian roots. We say, that Indian roots or Indian ethos. So there it starts the beginning, and it wanted to really create not India but Bharat. Bhu means it is the knowledge. That means we believe India as the Vishwa Guru. So this knowledge has to be really shed to all other places, because earlier also India was the Vishwa Guru. So we wanted to reinstate this Vishwa Guru status to India by taking the roots of India and creating again a Bharat, rejuvenation of the Bharat. So for that, all the Indian roots have to be rejuvenated. So Indian knowledge system has been very vibrantly discussed across India under the IKS department under the Ministry of Education. So they are doing a lot of work on this area. And apart from that, diversity, equity, gender, these all issues also they are discussing. So this policy vision statement talks about all these aspects, and it wanted to create an equitable, vibrant, a knowledge society, and also wanted to provide high quality education to everybody. And they're more focusing in the vision statement about instilling the skills and values dispositions, and also wanted to create committed human and committed to the human rights and SDG goals. All of you know about SDG goals. 2015, their target is up to 2030. And most of the targets, if you see in our policy document, they are up to 2030, few of them up to 35, few of them are up to 2040. Now our Vikasit Bharat, what Modi ji is saying is 2047 Vikasit Bharat. So he wanted to create a developed nation with all the vision and Vishwaguru status 2047. So that is the scheme going on now. Apart from so many other interventions the government is doing about Make in India, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, like that, Skill in India, Skilling India, so many interventions they have come up after the policy came into existence. So then they wanted to really, they started with the Indian roots, that is the statement beginning, and they ended with the global citizenship. So they wanted to take care of human rights, sustainable developmental goals, and also wanted to create a global well-being society and reflecting a truly global citizen. So you have to understand the local flavor and the indigeneity, and then the roots, Indian roots, and then also taking care of 21st century skills, and then creating a global citizen. So this is the holistic vision about this policy document. Then let us not get into this 4.0, because there is a document released by government along with the UNICEF and also World Economic Forum. And India is known for its people, Yuva, they say Yuva, the generation never ends. The generation never ends, Yuva. So these two people, that is UNICEF and World Economic Forum, along with in India, we have released 4.0 education in 2022. This document talks about something beyond this, 4.0. That is, you have TPAC and also numeracy, literacy, and reaching out to the unreached. So many components are there in 4.0 education. So I'm not getting into the details of this 4.0 education. So they wanted to go with the fourth industrial revolution. Now even 5.0 is being discussed here and there, but 4.0 they have taken into consideration under this particular part. So that I will just skip it, because they wanted to create updated kind of things related to engineers or integration and cyber security, data analysis, all these aspects they wanted to take it up. This is a different context altogether, but however, it is connected to our policy document. And we all know about the basic key principles of this policy is related to, they wanted to really respect the diversity that is there in this nation. We all know about the kind of diversities, language, geography, linguistic aspects, and anything you take, this country is known for its diversities in all dimensions, whether it is social context, economic context, or the geographical context, linguistic aspect. You take any dimension, this country is known for its diversity. So that particular thing they wanted to address. At the same time, they wanted to restore the local flavor. When they mentioned in the school curriculum and also at the higher education curriculum, there should be a local flavor and indigeneity should not be lost while designing the curriculum, though we are talking about the national curriculum framework and also the global citizenship aspect. So we don't want to disconnect the children from the global, that is the universality, and also not to disconnect from our roots. At the same time, not to lose their contextual flavor, that is the indigeneity part. So that is one of the principle where diversity and local context they discuss. Equity and inclusion also is the major concern, because when there is a diversity, then we have to think about how do we bring in the equity and also inclusion policy. We know about the inclusion policy. This is also another major seven of the seven concepts or themes of UGC. They're talking about diversity, student diversity. How do we address student diversity in the classroom? Keeping in view the SCDGs, that is socio-economically disadvantaged groups, which we have to address. So when we look at these diversities and then try to include them, that is where the inclusion policy and treating them equally on par with everybody else, and also providing them equal opportunities in all aspects. That's what they said about SCZ zones, that is aspirational districts they wanted to bring in. And these aspirational districts, they have identified where there is low literacy rate and also access to higher education is not available. So when the target was made by 2035, 50% of gross enrollment ratio has to be achieved by the government by 2035. So to reach that, the present context of 2018 statistics say it is only 28.3 or 26.8% is there. So double that we have to do within a short span of 1.5 decade. So it's a very difficult, challenging situation for all of us. So for that reason, they wanted to have this inclusion policy and take care of aspirational districts. We call them as SCZ zones, socio-economic zones. These are also called as aspirational districts. So this is in a way it is addressed. I'm just talking from all across all the policy. Then also they have given a lot of importance to community participation, because whether it is private partners or philanthropists, we wanted to really encourage all the participants, all the stakeholders to take part in achieving this huge mission of either literacy or numeracy, or when you talk about the gross enrollment ratio 50% at higher education, or creating access to the education and also quality education and extending equity. So for all these things, we need a lot of supporting hands. So they wanted to bring the community as an important element to take active participation. Then use of technology, this is another very important dimension. Across the policy document, they mention right from schooling to that of higher education. Everywhere the technology integration should be there, and also separate dedicated chapter is there under part 3 as the technology use and integration. And anyway, we will not be able to go into all those details. So the use of technology in teaching learning is a major concern for them. And also there were mention about the assistive technologies for the Divyang and also disabled children. So for that, the planning and management also they have mentioned in one of the key principles. Similarly, the emphasis also made on the conceptual clarity and conceptualization, because we know rampantly there is rote learning is emphasized and also encouraged in India because of the British colonial or English-sized education, British influence, whatever, you all know about that story. So this British people, because of the colonization and westernization, our language, English language has become more important, and English medium of instruction has become more important, which led children to just go for the rote learning. And many private partners are also encouraging these days, like Narayana Chaitanya, rote learning. So they wanted to do away with this system of rote learning education. They wanted children to get understanding and conceptualization. So they made it as a key principle in the policy document. Similarly, unique capabilities, that we need to identify the capabilities or unique capacities and the potentials that are available with the children. That is another very important thing. And then critical thinking and creativity everywhere across the document, page 1 you open to the last page, everywhere they mention about the innovation, critical thinking, analytical thinking and innovation. These are the buzzwords throughout the policy document. Then continuous review based on sustained research, and every time they are mentioning there should be emphasis made for the assessment one. Then about the PARAC they have given, and also now the NTP has come up, National Testing Agency has come up, and they are conducting lot of entrance tests. Even for ITEP they are going to conduct the test, and through NTP only, this NTA, it is NTA, National testing agency. So this is going to conduct the test. Most of the national level tests will be conducted by that. And as per your percentile or ranks, whatever you are allotted seats in various places. Similarly, ITEP will also bang on that, like that. You have NEET and other so many other examinations are going on now. So like that, they wanted to bring in that continuous review based, educational, the decision making based on creativity and all, and review based on the research and regular assessment by the educational experts. So this is another dimension which I was deviated from that main track. So anything that we are doing, it should be based on the sustained research that we have to do it. This is another key principle out of all these things. Then the broad ideas, you all know about the universal access to early childhood care and education. This is a major focus in this document, where you have seen the very structure has been changed. I hope most of you know about 5+3+3+4 structure they have given. 5 includes 3 years of early pre-primary education, 3 to 6 years, and then 2 early primary, then you have the middle, and then secondary and higher secondary. So like that, 16 years the children will complete their education in the school. So most of the schools in the future may be up to 12th standard, like now they are today. We have so many new parallel patterns are coming up. The residential schools are Navodaya schools, are KGBVs, and many schools are coming up. The recent past are all up to the higher secondary level. So the policy has emphasized on the higher secondary level. So like that 6 to 8, class 2, 1, all this we all know about it. So this is where they wanted to bring the early childhood education into the mainstream, where co-lateral schools will be there and co-located schools will be there, and also standalone Anganwadis will also be there wherever it is not possible to co-locate or integrate into the existing primary schools. Then they will have this Anganwadi schools, and these schools will be, now they are called as teachers. They are no more called as Anganwadi workers. They are called as Anganwadi teachers, and they made it mandate for all the teacher training courses, graduation as the basic minimum standard, and from there they will do it. For this Balwadis, the Anganwadis, they have not really gone for graduation, but they are continuing with the existing structure. So wherever standalone the Anganwadis will be there, they wanted to have a well-established infrastructure, facilities, and a good building, and all the teaching learning materials, and good hygiene and health facilities for the children in these Anganwadis. And recent past, you have seen the salaries have been hiked, and the many teachers, even some very few, maybe in few numbers, some PhDs also have taken as Anganwadi teachers, the job they have taken or the employment they have taken. These are very few examples. However, they wanted to strengthen the early childhood education so that the children all-round development is taken care of, and also early stimulation will happen to children, and they will also enter into the government stream, so that there won't be much difficulty in terms of continuation of the education or decrease the dropout rate or sustenance. That is where you wanted to retain the students in the school. So retention and dropout rate reduction, so many other aspects are there. And apart from all these things, especially we have issues in two documents, World Bank documents, they have mentioned about learning crisis and learning poverty. They very clearly, even Pratham report, they came out very clearly that children of 8th standard are unable to perform 3rd standard level of arithmetics or language, or whatever area you take. They don't have the capability of performing that level. That is, 8th standard child is unable to perform 3rd standard level of the children. So this is the major concern of our policy. So if at all we can give strong roots and foundation to children at ECE, then the children will continue, and this kind of crisis would not arise when they reach to the high school. So many issues are there. So this would be a very strong foundation stone for us if we can integrate and continue with these 3 parallel schemes they have, as I told already: co-located, collateral, and then integrated, then standalone kind of ECE kind of things. Dharmendra Pradhan, our the education minister, he said during this NEP 2020, a visionary education policy for the 21st century through which India is harnessing the capabilities of each student, universalizing education, building capacities, transforming the learning landscape in the country. This is a mention of the Minister of Education. So I just brought in for your observation. Then we also look at the universal access to education at all levels. So many multiple pathways they have given, even the dropouts who are away from the school, and also promoting government and non-governmental philanthropic. So many, I told already, the private partners, philanthropists, everybody they wanted to rope in so that there will be lot of space for the children to access education and also get the quality education. Then mostly the focus is laid on learning outcome based teaching, not like earlier where scores and grades and then they pass out and things will happen. And also the policy is encouraging peer tutoring, sustainable for all categories, whether it is business or personal percentage, whatever areas they belong to. So like that, one thing is they wanted to bring back the dropouts and continue with the quality education and encourage all the community participation, philanthropists and private partners. Similarly, for the access for the CCE secondary, ensuring the equity and inclusion. This is, I think I have already repeated this. I'll just go to this. This one, all of you know the structure. I don't need to repeat. Transforming curriculum and pedagogical structures, 5+3+, this all we have mentioned. First is the school structure, where you have pre-primary level, then secondary, middle, and then preparatory stage. So from bottom to top, it is preparatory. It is coming 4 years. And like that, it is going up to the 6 to 16 years. All that is the schooling part. This structure, all of you know. So we wanted to totally change the whole pedagogical structure. This is the ECE framework. I will not get into the document. I just brought, if time permits, we can see this document. Around 400 and odd pages, 363 pages of ECE and about 500 and odd pages of school education curriculum framework is there. And also the NPS, the standards, National Professional Standards document of 56 pages. So like this, you have so many huge documents which we have to read and understand. These two documents I just brought in. You can also open and then see whenever you want. They are also available in the website. Ministry website they are available, and also NCT website they are available. And you know that in the ECE framework, they said about 3-month play-based school preparation module. Like those days, preparation for the school, once the child come to primary school, 3 months they used to prepare the children for the primary level. That is basics, whatever basics they have already learned, those basics they used to refresh them for 3 months. Similarly, now also this 3-month play-based school preparation module is prepared for all the grade 1 children, so that NCT has produced this particular document. So they have already done this document. Now the research and the best practices of practices will be aligned with the ECCE. So based on the research, a lot of these best practices they are going to bring in. And then multifaceted framework, that is, all of us know children at young age, they need lot of colorful materials and alphabets, languages, numbering, counting. We call them as pre-academic skills, pre-math, pre-language, and pre-academics, we call them basically. So like that, all these aspects, they have to be taught, not directly ABC alphabets, but they should be given a lot of orientation to prepare for the language, to prepare for math, to prepare for science concept. So that's why we talk about the pre-academic skills for the children in the ECE level. That is, those 3 years, children will be prepared for the academic program, that is reading, writing, LSRW, and also numeracy, literacy, and all these things will be introduced. So like that, the National Curriculum Framework 2022 has been framed already. It is already there. You can look into that. Similarly, this early childhood education, the crafts will be there, and language, linguistics, and development of curiosity, and they have the teamwork, collaboration, and self identity, all that qualities required, developmental aspects required for pre-primary education. They have mentioned these all aspects: logical thinking, critical thinking, analytical thinking, for them innovation, creativity, and self-identity. The social skills and self-identity, very, very important when the children are very young at the preschool level. So all these aspects are included in that. And then school education, they wanted to really bring out a meaningful education and a learning for children. We all know how it is based on competency-based learning. There is an NCERT document on competency-based learning, and all those competencies they have identified, class-wise competencies and subject-wise competencies, all are there. A huge document available, released long time back by NCERT. So that document we can look in, and this competency-based learning they have emphasized and also introduced. And then we know about the kind of learning the children love to have at the primary school and pre-primary school also. But primary school, they're talking now about the school education. Children love to play. So gamification and constructivist approach, all of you know about it. And development of scientific temper. This is most important. That's why to develop their curiosity and investigation, innovative skills, and also exploratory skills. So these all investigatory and exploratory skills, if we have to develop in them, we have to create that kind of an environment for children. So that scientific temper has to be developed amongst the children. They cannot just by heart and have a rote learning as we are having in schools today. Instead, they should have hands-on experience, learning through experience, and experiential based learning. That's what we have been talking about, and play based learning, and activity based learning, like that. All these experiential learning, field based learning, these all kinds of learning where children will be developing and constructing their own knowledge. So that is all constructivist approach from the Western point of view. From in ancient Indian point of view also, our learning is never rote learning. Our learning is always hands-on experience and experiential learning. So most important thing that they have mentioned in this policy is that students should be fully engaged in that. Engagement is the most important crux of this whole document for school education. So children should be engaged. Engagement means you should make them involved in the learning process. That is what is engagement. Anything you give, field based activity, play, game, whatever areas or strategies that you choose to have, depending upon the subject and topics that you choose. So this is very important. So engage learning process is very, very important. Similarly, they have emphasized right from schooling to that of higher education, they're more focusing on vocational training and also skilling. They're talking about skilling and skill based education. If you see the statistics somewhere mentioned in the document that Korea, Germany, Japan, and all these places, more than 95% of the people are having the skill education. But in India, if you see, very negligible, less than 2% of the people are going for the vocational education and skill based education. So it's a very alarming situation now. That's the reason why we have a lot of unemployment and other issues. So the country is very serious about introducing the skill-based education and skill India, they are saying today. So these interventions are all coming up just to encourage the vocationalization of education, because in our country, we have a lot of stigma towards vocationalization and skill education. So this stigma has to be removed from the parents, and attitude has to be changed from for both the teachers as well as for the students. So these things they were talking about vocational training, coding from standard 6 itself, standard 6 or 8. They wanted to start this coding because we know that the time is now of computer age and technology age, and artificial intelligence is rampantly playing havoc in all our lives every day. Every minute there are apps and applications of AI. We could see ChatGPT or whatever you take, games, anything you take, this AI is playing really a very instrumental role in our life. So right from schooling, if the children are exposed to that kind of coding and other sorts of technologies, they will be empowered in the future to meet the 21st century skills and also empower in the technology. So these are the major issues of concern in the school education. So now in the new one, what they wanted. So it should be more of meaningful learning and critical thinking, experiential learning. This is all. Old one, you all know about homework and all those things, but they wanted more of application based learning should happen in the classrooms. And you have seen in our SCF curriculum 2011 framework, they did a lot of experiments, and application oriented question papers were given for the 10th class students. A lot of experiments are done in the state of erstwhile Andhra Pradesh and now Telangana, but still we have not reached to that level what is expected in the NEP policy. It should be more flexible. They said no, something like around 41 or 42 subjects they wanted to introduce in the schooling, and there is no restriction like today we have class 1 should be this, class 2 should be like this. No, the flexibility will be given to the children. Whichever subject the child likes first, they can go and they can complete anything that they wanted to learn first, they can learn. So a lot of flexibility is there, and creativity is encouraged, and application and innovation is explained, encouraged, and skills are encouraged, and multidisciplinary kind of an environment is also encouraged in the present NEP curriculum. And also we know foundational literacy and numeracy, just now I told you already. Grade 3 in mission mode. So they wanted to give lot of importance to the foundational literacy and numeracy, because all children should be empowered with the minimum basics by the time they complete the primary level. Everybody should learn these things. So they have created lot of national mission is working on foundational literacy, and early learning they were focusing that what is focused on reading, writing not before 5 years. It should happen only after 5 years. So before that, all the pre reading, pre-writing, and pre-academic skills have to be emphasized. So what they did is national repository they have created in the name of Diksha, that is where high quality teaching learning materials are available in Diksha and other portals. So many portals they have started now. So like that, these portals will provide lot of quality teaching learning resources for children. So everybody can access this material and they can understand it. So like that, the 3 month, just now I mentioned already, play-based material and all. These are all the reduction in the curriculum they wanted to do and improve the skills on the other hand. What are the core essentials that they wanted? Curriculum subjects to be reduced to its core essentials. Only those which are very vital and important core required for the children in the school only should be provided. Remaining all extra that what we are enforcing on the children to write the exam in school should be totally reduced. Similarly, critical thinking should be really given lot of emphasis so that the analysis based teaching if we give to children so that they become persons with critical thinking and inquiry based and discovery based discussion, analysis, critical thinking. So all these 21st century skills along with that the innovative skills and upscaled skills are emphasized in the school curriculum. And they wanted to reduce the bulk but increase the skills amongst the children. And also they wanted to have engagement. So interactive teaching should be more emphasized rather than learning and by hearting and rote learning. Then experiential learning also they have given a lot of importance to fun and creativity and collaboration, cooperation, exploration. All these things in the classroom we should encourage so that the child can develop lot of deeper thinking and innovation and creativity and all such things. So our curriculum and pedagogy is really wonderfully designed. You can see those two frameworks. You can see in the school framework around 300 pages backside compiled materials written by the school teachers in various workshops, their own experiences, their own activities they have mentioned. Please go through the document of 500 or 600 page document. You can see all those teacher made materials are there in that document along with the framework. Then you can see the focus on the learning outcomes and competencies and subjects are to be integrated like computer based education modules. They are giving more importance. You know about silos they wanted to break not only at the higher education but also in the school education. We are restricting ourselves to only 6 subjects. So they wanted to introduce lot more subjects and integrate these all subjects along with the technologies, that is ICT integration. And also scientific temper they wanted to develop and emphasize on the digital literacy. And we have seen during pandemic lot of such kind of experiments happened and TV channels have been used, satellites have been used, and even Diksha portal has been used. And also they have used lot of channels in the TV to dedicate for the children. Even apps they have used, lot of mobile apps they have used. Like that they have empowered the teachers in technology right from pandemic time onwards until today. Teachers are well empowered in all these technological aspects. So like that, multilingual teaching also they are encouraging a lot in the schools because children coming from various linguistic backgrounds will suffer if you teach either in the regional language or in the English language. Wherever English is their medium of instruction, you know, most of the government schools are going after 6th standard with English medium up to 5th standard. They are in the Telugu or whatever regional medium. It is very difficult for the children to pick up the language of English after 5th standard. So they are using bilingual method in the classroom. Sometimes you can go beyond bilingual to multilingual method. There may be children coming from various linguistic backgrounds. So teachers should be able to use the various languages in the classroom so that they feel more comfortable and they will be able to learn better. So that is the idea how they are looking at the promotion of this multilingualism in the classrooms and also literacy in all those things. Then the mental, all these things, you know, all round development of the children and mental and well-being of the children. These are other aspects where you have so many special children are there, children coming from poor socioeconomic backgrounds and children coming from so many other backgrounds and other issues. So all these children need to be addressed in our classroom. So they wanted the counselors should be there. So wherever counselors are not there, government is hiring some of the counselors and these counselors are taking care of the children in the school complexes. So this is what is mentioned by them. Then health checkups, you know, this is a common scenario happens, but it is not effectively going. So they wanted these health checkups should happen annually for all the students and records should be maintained. Then weight of the school bag should be reduced. We know Yashpal Committee 1905 itself, they said, but till today our school bags, the weight has not been reduced. So again, they are focusing on this reducing weight on the school bags, and also mandatory skills, whatever are very essential for the children, like basic training in the preventive health care, mental health, or first aid, personal, public hygiene. These are basic things whichever are there. These all mandatory skills should be provided for all the children. Then inclusion and caring culture, this is another very important thing in the schools which is missing today. So they wanted teachers should really give lot of importance and care to the children so that they will become inclusive in our classrooms, whether it is cultural variation, linguistic variation, whatever variation maybe the children are coming from various backgrounds. We should create that kind of a very beautiful environment and an inclusive environment. So children should be cared in our classrooms. That is another very important thing. Then children coming with disabilities also need to have lot of emphasis. Even in technology, they talked about assistive technologies. They're using lot of such assistive technologies for Divyang. They have used the word Divyang in this policy for them. Then innovative pedagogies also they are encouraging. Equal weightage should be given to in the teaching learning process to curriculum. You all know that there is no distinction now in the policy document, curriculum, co-curriculum, extracurriculum. Already extracurriculum has been removed long time back, but now they don't want any more deviations and partitions of curriculum, co-curriculum, and extra kind of things. They say everything is curriculum, play, game, activity, field, whatever you do, it's all learning. So there is no distinction between all these things they mentioned. Then experiential learning, already I discussed with you, inquiry, discovery based. Then integrated pedagogy, we know that we have been, last from 2014 onwards, we have been integrating technology, integrating art and music. Now they are also talking about sports, art, storytelling, ICT, integrated pedagogies we have to bring in, because a lot of emphasis today is being made on storytelling narratives. This is very, very interesting. Even adults, you and me also sit, if there is a story happening, a cinema, a serial, whatever is happening, you all glue to the television, you all glue to the mobiles. So this is very, very interesting pedagogy tool that we have on hand. So that is the tool that has been used by Vishnu Sharma in his Mitra Labham, Mitra Vedam, in his, you know, what is that called? Pancha, Pancha, yes. Yes. Yes, Panchatantra. Tantra is technique. Pancha is 5. We are talking only about Mitra Labham, Mitra Vegam, but there are another 3 more things are there where you learn various other techniques by the princely children. You all know about this. So like that, they even talk in this policy, some 10 days, bagless days should be spent by children in the school, where these 10 days children will go to the artisans and local workers, local skills, whatever are available in their vicinity, they will go and have like an internship. It's not exactly internship, but they spend their time totally those 10 days and interact with them, interview them, and spend time with them and learn the skills from them and understand the difficulties and all aspects of the person who is living in that difficult situation. Let us say, for instance, a carpenter is making a tool for you, whether it is a chair or a table or whatever tools that you need from the carpenter. So we don't understand the value of a carpenter. We use a lot of materials at home, but once you go there, sit with them and understand the skill, the difficulty of making it, and how much of effort they make, how much time they need, what kind of involvement, engagement, and kind of all those things, creativity, everything, the carpenter example, one example like this, any artisan. So these artisans, if they go, they understand the value of that product, and also they know the value of the persons. They will be able to respect the artisans and other skill-based persons, so that they develop encouragement towards going to those professions also, instead of thinking it's the low kind of a profession or having a stigma about this kind of artisan culture. So India is known for that. We know in Banabhatta they mentioned about 64 kalas, and in Jayamangala, Lalita Vistar, they mentioned about some 70 or 86 kalas, and about 500 and odd kalas were mentioned in Jayamangala, they have mentioned. So we can understand more than 500 occupations and artisan cultures were there in India then. That's the reason there was no unemployment in India. So we have to understand that and create that kind of entrepreneurial education by sending these children for 10 days bagless to the artisans and encourage them, motivate them, enable them to understand the value of those people, respect them, and adopt to such kind of occasions or avocations or artisan culture. So this is the idea behind this 10 days, bagless days, to go to the society or community and engage themselves. Then integration of technology, you all know about that. And peer tutoring, they are encouraging much in this policy because children of the same age group can understand better, can communicate to the children better. So that's why peer tutoring is not only new now in the policy, but it was very much there. If you see higher learning centers like Takshila, Nalanda, Uduntupuri, Vikramshila, these all higher learning centers, they had this peer tutoring or peer teaching, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, and the monitorial system. These were all the past golden days times had, and the same thing they wanted to revamp in the modern national education policy. And teachers should become the under the teachers supervision. These all tutoring should happen, peer tutoring should happen, so that they do not deviate from the track. So this is another, I have already told about this, local content and flavor should be there whatever we are creating the repositories of the teaching learning materials. So Diksha platform I have already mentioned, and NCRT is preparing such kind of materials. They are already in place. Now, computational thinking and Future India, we wanted to create that kind of leadership roles amongst the various fields, whether it is mathematical thinking, problem solving, contemporary subjects in schools, like all this they are going to introduce, like artificial intelligence, design thinking, holistic health, organic living, environmental education, global citizenship education, all these new subjects and new areas which they wanted to introduce right at the schooling itself. Then you know about the examinations. They don't want continuous examinations where children will be really suffering with in the name of examination. Lot of fear is there, and they by heart and vomit and forget about it. So they wanted an understanding and not have any more pressure on the children in the name of examination. So to remove this pressure, they hardly have examinations. That means at stage in class 3, 5, and 8 they will have, and then at the 10th and 12th standard they'll have exam. But they don't really force on the grades, the scores, but they are going with only the grades. And they don't really torture the children in the name of ranks and other things. So basically their focus will be on the learning outcomes, not on the scores and grades. And also, you know, continuous evaluation system they have introduced, and assessment, all the core concepts, whether they got those core concepts like higher order skills, did they develop application skills, did they develop, that means real time, are they able to apply the knowledge that they have got. So all these things which are moving away from the rote learning, that they are encouraging in this policy. And the results of the school examination also, they don't use for the sake of pass fail kind of things, but they are for the progress of the children, for the development purpose only. They use this performance or outcomes of the school based examination. So this is another very important thing. Just to monitor the learning process of the children, they are using these scores and grades. And then in grade 9 and 12, you know, the board exams are much easier. They wanted to make, they don't want anybody to become a failure. It doesn't mean they want to push everybody like Brahmananda Reddy time, all attendance pass. So everybody were very poor and failed in the 10th standard. They don't want that kind of a system. But like if you see even in the Bloom's taxonomies, Bloom's also has given one theory where he said everybody will learn, but only it's a matter of time. Somebody will take less time, somebody will take more time. So like that, all children should be encouraged to learn and come out with the learning outcomes. Their major focus is on the learning outcomes, not on forcing on the children to get the scores and other things. So they have also prepared, NCRT has prepared the guidelines, SCRT also prepared guidelines for the PARAC. That's where you know about the continuous process, the whole process of assessment and review and all these things, you know. So each school board will ensure equivalence of academic standards for the learning attainments of the children. These all norms, guidelines, everything has been prepared under the PARAC. So this is taking care of the assessment process. So there is a lot of transformation has come in the very culture of the assessment. So they are focusing on more on the conceptual clarity and higher order and foundational skills rather than on scores. Then board exams made very flexible. They wanted, I don't know, implementation in the school is still going on, and in our state it has not yet implemented. Then assessment of the essential skills and continuous tracking. You know, you should have that kind of a graphical denotation of the children, how the performance is improving over a period of time. So when you make a graphical note of the children's outcomes, then we will know whether there is an improvement or there is a progress or not. So that kind of a track they wanted to have through the continuous assessment process. Then National Testing Agency, we have already discussed about it. So they wanted to bring in high quality and equivalent standards everywhere. Everybody, if you take the same test and if you perform, and the kind of equity that is there between the people's performance, you can easily assess where they stand actually. Similarly, AI-based softwares also they are preparing, and self-assessment and peer assessment they are encouraging, because children would understand better each other and they can assess each other better. So like that peer assessment, and also giving lot of self-reflection. So they wanted even self-assessment. So the National Assessment Center is bringing such kind of greater synergy in the board examinations, and also parity between the various boards, so that there will not be much disparity. Today we have international boards, we have state boards, we have central boards, like that lot of variations are there in the standards also. They wanted to bring in a uniform standard kind of things. Similarly, 360 degrees holistic progress card they wanted to bring in, so that children will not have any day left out in the assessment. Assessment doesn't mean to label something. Assessment is always for the favor of the children, so that they will continuously progress from time to time, and based on the assessment and the gaps that are there, weaknesses that are there in the children, those have to be substituted or enhanced by the teachers in the process of assessment. Assessment is not for the labeling. Assessment is only for the progress of the children to improve further and further. That is what is 360-degree multi-dimensional report card. Every dimension of the child, whether it is behavioral dispositions or their language, or all dimensions are taken care, and every day the assessment is being done. So it is not subjected like an assessment, like we have board exam kind of fear, but it's simply every day they learn, every day they perform, every day they are assessed. So this is continuous progressive process of assessment. That's what 360-degree kind of progress card that is being devised. So it is all inquiry based, that learning, quizzes, role play, group work, portfolios. We know we have been using in B.Ed this word long time back. Portfolio, now also it is continuing. So portfolio, the best performance of the children are placed either in the digital form, e-portfolio. You have even in the Google, you can go and create your own e-portfolio and place all the materials. You can scan them, or in the digital form, you can post them, whatever way you want to preserve the children's, or else physically you will have a file and where you preserve all the performances of the children. So like that, they will also, they're also encouraging these portfolio for the children, so that their all best performance will be recorded in the form of a portfolio. Then we have discussed holistic progress report, so that teachers and parents, both of them, would know where the child stood or stands and how much it has improved, where it need to improve. Similarly, we have already told about multilingualism and power of language learning, how we are obsessed with English language. This part we have to take care in teaching learning process. We have to encourage language. I'm not saying English should not be encouraged. So policy also says that first of all, let the child get the conceptual clarity, then the languages. Children can acquire any number of languages. So multilingualism is being encouraged, so that children learn mutually from each other various languages and connect to other children also in the classroom. Teacher can also acquire languages from the children if they encourage them to speak in the classroom their own native language or their own mother tongue. So this kind of things will encourage and improve multilingualism in the classroom, so that multilingualism should not become an hindrance in the classroom, but it should become a resource. So they said multilingualism should become as a resource in the classroom to make the children to learn better. So all the classical languages also they are encouraging. They are saying simple Sanskrit study language. Triple S they said in the policy document. So this triple S they are encouraging, making the Sanskrit language very simple, so that every child can acquire or learn this Sanskrit language. So they're encouraging a lot of Sanskrit, so that the roots of learning, whatever are available in our ancient roots, that all culture, languages and literature, scripts, whatever are available, that all they wanted to provide in the school. Not only that, the Indian knowledge system also, in the form of videos, they wanted to prepare as a repository. They wanted to introduce to children in the school itself. They will keep all these repositories in the school. Whenever, wherever the child would like to go there and learn it, on its own it should learn. There is no kind of restriction on the child, only today you should read or tomorrow you should read. These all will be available videos. Children can go and access them. That's why they said no, multiple languages and multiple subjects, flexibility in the curriculum they have created. So these all things they talk. And school complexes and clusters, we know long time back in Telangana and erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, we have this school complex concept. We know about that, all the resources, pooling, sharing, exchange, and then support and help each other mutually, all the complex of the schools which are placed in the same place. And also this complex can go and extend their resources to other schools which are placed in the remote places also. So all these things are there. There are Samaj Chetan Kendras are there, sharing resources and efficiency, where resources from the schools and school building complexes they can use. Various resources could be physical infrastructure, equipment, teacher resources, anything they can use. Then they need to make lots of short-term plans and long-term plans so that the effective governance of the schools can happen, and also integration of education across all through the schools. They can connect teachers, they can connect, and resources they can connect, and schools also can have collaboration between them. They can have two schools can come together and pairing of the schools, or they can be more number of schools across the country also. Anywhere they can go, online they can go, offline they can go. So depending upon the requirement, need and availability and access, they can make use of these all resources. This is how school complexes are extending lot of resources. Then standard setting and accreditation, this I have already told you that right from schooling they wanted to create some school standards authority they wanted to create, and some encouragement and promotion of the standards in the schools, quality in the schools. So they have created this one. So this quality assessment and accreditation framework has been prepared by NCRT and SCRT. They are preparing, and based on that, they will be accrediting the schools also, like higher education centers. Similarly, the health checkups also they are encouraging, where National Achievement Survey they have already conducting these surveys. Through that, they wanted to ensure children's health and have a record of their whole health record also they wanted to maintain. So in this context, they also wanted to use private partners, philanthropists and others. Then we know about teacher education. As I told in fifth chapter also, they made a mention the school education. So they wanted a minimum degree qualification for the teacher. Every teacher should have minimum degree qualification right from primary to higher education. And you also know that they don't need to go from SGT to DSC and DSC to some PGT, TGT. All this nonsense will not happen if at all it is implemented thoroughly. A pre-primary teacher will be there with pre-primary, a primary teacher will be with primary, secondary will be secondary, higher secondary will be higher. So where for whatever level they have been appointed, they'll be there, and within that stage, that is level, they'll have promotions. That is the preparatory, then kind of levels they'll have, and their promotions will happen in the same stream. So that the pay package, there will not be any difference. Whatever level you are teaching, you are treated equally and your grades will increase. So like that, they wanted to bring in uniform standards, and they don't want to make the teachers to migrate just because they get more salary and status quo. So status quo they have taken care, salary they have taken care, everything they have taken care, and they wanted to ensure the quality of teaching by the teacher committed to the level which they are intending to prepare themselves. So this is how a very beautiful transformation has come. Then bachelor degree, they will be specializing whatever subjects they wanted, they can go into that, and 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor degrees they can have, or ITEP 4-year they can do, or 4-year degree they can do. And then for 1-year PG they can go, or 1-year B.Ed they can come. So a lot of flexibility is there, and you know about multiple entry, multiple exit, and all that is there. Then 2021, they wanted to bring in the teacher education national curriculum framework, but so far that framework is yet to see the light of the day. Though no doubt ITEP has come and teacher professional standards documents have come, mentoring came and other things have come. But this document is yet to come. They are all waiting for that. And then we got tired, and then we revised the curriculum last 23-24 batch, thinking that ITEP is almost will be in tune with the upcoming curriculum framework for the teacher education. Then standards also, they are very meticulous, that they wanted to take wherever teacher education institutions are running with the low standards, they wanted to really penalize them, take stringent action against them. And only such kind of educational institutions which are sound with multidisciplinary integrated teacher education program is there. Only such of the institutions will be continuing. Other substandard institutions will be closed down. And you know that affiliation system will be removed, and only the multidisciplinary system will be there. ITEP will continue, and these all other systems. By 2035, all standalone teacher education institutions will be closed down, and all graduation courses will be of 4-year duration. Multiple entry, multiple exit. You know about the certificate, diploma, and then degree, and then 3-year degree, 4-year degree. All these kind of things, and you know only 3 types of structures will be there: research intensive universities and teaching intensive universities, and degree issuing colleges they wanted to bring in. So this would be probably in the future if we implement thoroughly to the core. These only 3 types of institutions will be there. And I don't know, these all IITs and other things, they will all come under one dome of this multidisciplinary kind of a structure. So there won't be any discrimination in terms of funding, in terms of structures, in terms of standards, everything they wanted to bring in. And this affiliation will go, no more colleges will go under any university for affiliation. Especially this affiliation system is available only in the state universities, you all are aware. And this they wanted to do away. And every university and every, whether it is teaching or research intensive or college, they will become the responsible persons for their own quality and issuing their own degrees. So this is the really, I would say, you all know about this. This is long 3-4 years they have been talking about this. Then NTA testing, through this testing only, they will be allotting them to these colleges, ITEP colleges. And then National Higher Education Regulatory Council, you know about HECI, Higher Education Commission of India. Under that, these all regulatory bodies, whether whatever you have today, AICT, NCT, these are so many parallel regulatory bodies, and they are creating lot of havoc and problems in the system of monitoring and also regulation of the standards. So they wanted to create 4 verticals under the National Higher Education Commission of India, HECI they call, Higher Education Commission of India, HECI. Under that 4 verticals they wanted to build. Anyways, I will come to that higher education. I'll just have talk about that. Then teacher recruitment and deployment. Just now I mentioned to you about the deployment, that they will be moving from one level to the other level in the same stage of education. So they have foundational, preparatory, middle and secondary stage, both public and private schools. Everybody have to follow the same thing. And they, they about NET and TET and all these things are there. So TET they will be, NTA will be conducting. And apart from that, you also have our state level test will be conducted. So they wanted to ensure the quality of the teacher and restructuring of NCT. Now they will be remaining in the future only the professional standard setting bodies under the General Education Council, that is GEC. So like that we have NAC, NAC, National Accreditation Committee, and Regulatory Committee, and then Accreditation Committee. Like that you have only 4 verticals under HECI, remaining all. Anyway, certificate courses and all these specialized courses for general teacher, special teacher, and teacher for the Divyang children, all these kinds of preparations, everything is uniformly taken care of in terms of standards, levels, and structure, course, everything, the nomenclature and status quo, all these are taken care of. Then we have recruitment of teachers through a transparent, robust process. They wanted to create all motivated, energized, capable faculty recruitment in the academic, teaching, research, public service, everywhere based on the merit they wanted to take care of the children and teachers. And also empowering teachers, you know about that, the national professional standards they wanted to set for the teachers. And then career growth also they are planning for the teachers, one level to the other level they will be going from one level to the other level. So in the beginning period like this, then later on like that, gradually they upscale themselves into the higher levels. Then teacher for the professional development of the teachers, merit-based tenure track system they wanted to plan, and minimum of 50 hours of continuous professional development also they are focusing, so that all the teachers mandatory that they have to undergo 50 hours of continuous professional development training, whether it is pedagogy, curriculum, whatever is needed for the teachers, that training will be given to empower the teachers. Then they are also mentioning today, if you see NEPA and others, they are focusing more on school leadership programs. Even NCRT, they extend lot of school leadership programs because they expect a effective and a good leader only can lead the children and give a better education. So like that, the necessary facilities and initial professional preparation for these educators will be provided with the professional development course of 50 hours. And then all the opportunities will be created for them. And with all the latest, whatever developments are abreast happening, all the pedagogies, curriculum, anything that they are going to provide to them. Then they are given a lot of facilities and scope and access and availability to upskill themselves with the latest pedagogies, and also foundational literacy, numeracy, all these aspects also they are informed and created awareness about that, and also trained so that they all will develop individualized competency based learning related pedagogies. They are empowered, and that in turn will be helpful for the children. This is all school education we have been talking. Higher education, you know, all the three types of I have already told you: research intensive, teaching intensive, and the degree issuing colleges. And you know, academic bank of credit, ABC, they are encouraging now, because this academic bank of credit, one is where you store the credits in your academic bank of credit, and you can claim degrees or diplomas or certificate, whatever you are interested. That's one dimension. And there is also a possibility through MOOCs, there is a credit transfer. When you accumulate degrees in some places and get some credits, then you can go to university and you can transfer the credits. I can do my degree, some course in one university, other course in another university, other course in another university. Whatever I like, I can do it. I have a lot of flexibility. Then these credits will be transferred wherever I want to take my degree. Those credits will be transferred from one different universities to the point or place where the student is interested in taking their final degree. So there will be some mandated kind of credits wherever you want to take the degree. Maybe little more credits you should earn from there, and remaining credits will come through that. So basically, to preserve our credits, whatever we are earning either through MOOCs or through various courses, ABC can take care of it. That is academic bank of credit. Then they have emphasized in this higher education, multidisciplinary education and research universities. They are called as MIRUs, not our CABs, but these are the MIRUs, multidisciplinary education research university. They wanted to have that flavor of research in all the higher learning education centers. You know about multiple entry, multiple exit. Today, if you have readmission, if you have to take and pay the fee, so many complications, permission, this and that. Here, student has no such kind of havoc. They can straight away come, straight away go. There will be procedural issues, no doubt about it. But anytime they can go, anytime they can come back. There is no restriction of the time bar on the students to complete their degrees. So, certificate, diploma, degree, 3 years, 4-year degree is given depending upon the number of years they pursue their degree. Then faculty and institutional autonomy also, they have given a lot of emphasis that every teacher should become an autonomous individuals. They can design their own courses, they can offer their own courses, they can assess their own students and award degrees on their own. Like, you know, a lot of autonomy and flexibility is given to the teachers so that they will become independent in their designing the curriculum or assessment procedures or strategies for pedagogy, whatever. So they wanted to really create a kind of an empowered teacher at the higher education. Then also they wanted to revamp the whole curriculum and pedagogic strategies and assessment procedures, student support systems. Especially they have come up very big way about the mentoring. Mentoring, of course, they have given a different kind of a notation for that, like the retired people or even the people who are in service, those who wanted to become mentors and help out the people, they can enroll, register with the ministry, and these people can be used, resources can be, services can be used as the mentoring resources for all the institutions, whoever are willing to take such kind of resources. So like that, they wanted this support should be given through mentoring. That concept is little different, but anyways, mentoring is a concept which is being encouraged in India, and UGC also encourages this mentoring concept. Then faculty should have this institutional autonomy and curriculum and all, I am telling you. Then also career guidance and counseling, also professional and academic and career guide counseling should be given, extended to all the children in the colleges. Then also we should extend little financial support for the children through some national scholarship portal that is expected to come up, so that all the children can access this portal and can make a request depending upon the availability of the funds and all. They are going to uniformly distribute all these funds for the children to give financial support for their education, for the higher education or whatever level of education. Then they also have very clearly defined independent transparent processes or criteria for the faculty recruitment, tenure track, and incentivize excellence. So they are very clear about the quality of higher education teachers, because when they are recruiting itself, they wanted to make very stringent rules and regulations and make it very transparent so that nobody will question. Let us say there will be a demonstration which is video recorded and everybody can participate in that. So like that, they wanted to really make it very transparent process so that children know who come for the recruitment, what is the criteria based on which I'm selected or not selected or rejected, whatever. Then tenure track also, they don't want permanent, like today, once you join a university, you are a permanent teacher for lifetime till you retire. But now they wanted to create these tracks so that they wanted to really invite the excellence from the teacher by giving them some incentives, those who perform better, and also penalize maybe those who do not perform better. So kind of things they wanted to really encourage. Also, they wanted to have a dedicated national research foundation so that it will take care of the research quality and publications and other things. Today, morning only we discussed about the spurious kind of publications that are coming up, low quality publications, and there is no quality and no standard of the publications, both in terms of journals and also the publications that are coming up, papers, books, or whatever. So this we have to somewhere curtail and then bring in quality in the research and publication. So this foundation is going to take care of it. Then governance of higher education institutions. These are the independent boards which they are going to create for the academic administrative autonomy. And they also wanted to come up extensively with the online courses. You know about the hybrid mode. UGC said at least 40% of the courses should be offered online, and MOOCs also we should encourage so that credit transfer can also happen through MOOC courses. I can take some 4 credits. They are making mandate now, these MOOC courses also in various courses, that at least 4 credits, 12 credits, 5 credits, 8 credits, whatever mandated in their curriculum. So they are encouraging children to go for online MOOC courses, and then these credits will be transferred to your main course or in your regular course, so that you don't need to repeat those number of credits again in your regular course. So like that hybrid mode they are encouraging. These all kinds of innovations they are encouraging at the higher education. Then internationalization of education, foreign universities, they are allowing to open their institutions in India. Similarly, the top 50 rank holders, universities can go and establish their institutions outside India, and their permission is given to them so that they can go and establish the Indian universities elsewhere in the foreign countries, as they are doing in India now. So there will be some kind of memorandum of understanding and also quality measures and also fee regulation, various other, I think, policy matters. They will have proper understanding about this, and this policy will help our children not to migrate much into the foreign countries and send our uh, budget or finance to foreign currency to foreign countries. So many other benefits are there with this kind of a nature of mutual understanding. So our children will get benefit who cannot go abroad, and those children who are away from India, they can get benefit from our country's institutions established there. So like the top rankers or top rank universities only can go and then establish the universities. So far, not much efforts happened in this line. Maybe many foreign universities are encouraged and they are coming and establishing in India. But Indian universities going and establishing universities elsewhere, not much heard about it. That we have to really motivate. Maybe it will come. And this, all of you know, that is where student mobility, faculty mobility, to encourage this policy they are taking up firmly. Then you know about light, tight. This I don't want to repeat again. Hundreds of times you must have heard about it. We wanted to really create the standards and quality of higher education, but not make very stringent, but make it very transparent and very smooth, and also ensure the quality at higher education. As I told already, HECI, umbrella, and then you have various other 4 bodies we have, and independent bodies for standard setting, funding, accreditation, and other regulation and monitoring. Then for general council, there will be a general education council, GEC, and professional standard setting bodies, PSSBs. These will take care of all sorts of professional courses, like we have AICT, NCT, medical council, law council, bar council, and like that we have pharmacy council. Various councils are there which are regulating and monitoring these professional courses. So these will be there, but they will just remain as standard setting, professional standard setting bodies. But the remaining all regulation, common funding, common monitoring, all this will happen by the higher authorities under the dome of HECI. Then we have Funding Higher Council, that is HEGC, Funding Higher Education Grants Council, and Accreditation, National Accreditation Council, like that Regulation, National Higher Education Regulatory Council. These are all councils under the commission. So this is the 4 verticals I have already discussed. Then same set of norms, regulation, accreditation, academic standards. There will be proper standards set for all the colleges. And professional education, it will become an integral part of higher education system. And standalone, all technical universities, health science universities, legal, all these such kind of universities with the multidisciplinary institutions, they'll try to pull them together so that this multidisciplinary mirrors will be there in the future to come. Then autonomous body and National Educational Technology Forum, they wanted to bring one National Educational Technological Forum so that all technological aspects, integration or innovations or whatever related technology, this particular body is going to take care of it. Then these technologies also will be integrated not only at the higher level, but also in the classroom processes, in the teacher professional development, and also access created to the disadvantaged groups like Divyangs, assistive technologies, and in the planning, monitoring, administration, management, various dimensions, this particular technology will be integrated so that we can make more and more effective systems with the help of technology. Then promote online and digital education. Of course, we know that 40% of the course should be online and hybrid mode. UGC has been mandating a lot of such innovations. Hopefully, these all will come to implementation so that our students also will get some time, because none of the students are interested in coming to face-to-face more classrooms. So they also get both the chance for earning and learning, and also having both kinds of exposure, and they realize which would be a better kind of a learning, and all this in hand, on hand, in person, they will be able to know about it. Then promote online digital. Then Indian Institute of Translation, this they wanted to promote, they wanted to dedicate one institute for Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation, because a lot of literature available in various languages is not known, especially Sanskrit and some other classical languages. Apart from that literature, even our own country, we have various languages, mandated official languages itself, more than 22 are there, and you have any number of languages and dialects available in India. So some resources, if they are available in various other languages, then we can translate them. So this particular institute is dedicated for this translation purpose. Then we also have national institutes for Pali, Persian, and Prakrit. These are some of the very many scripts, ancient scripts available. So these scripts, they wanted to translate them into various Indian languages and official languages and English, so that everybody will get access to such kind of resources and literature available and scripts available. Then also they wanted to promote all the Indian languages, including classical, tribal, and everything, because we know every day in and out, more than 2,000 languages are getting extinct in this country. So many, maybe more than 2,000 dialects are there, many number of languages are there. So they are getting extinct because of no proper encouragement or preservation of this kind of literature or scripts or languages. So that they wanted to rope in and really take care of the preservation and conservation of these languages, and multiple mechanisms with checks and balances they wanted to combat. And this commercialization of higher education, all of us know a lot of privatization is coming up, lot of commercialization is happening. So they wanted to curtail this and bring some kind of public policy related kind of things so that they will take care. Then central advisory, we know CABE, long time it was established, and this would be strengthened further again so that it will be remodeled and rejuvenated so that it will be able to articulate and also elevated, so that revising the vision of the education, we can have little focus on this. Then also they wanted to redesignate MHRD, that already happened in the policy they mentioned in 20, but now this MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development, has been renomenclature like in the earlier times, Ministry of Education. Then higher education, you know about the holistic multidisciplinary education, flexibility of subjects, UG program 3 or 4 years, PG program 1 or 2 years, depending upon the time, 3 years to 4 years and 4 years to 1 year. So these are all flexibilities they have created, and integrated 5-year bachelors also. Today already these experiments are going on. Some are success, some are failure. However, They wanted to further encourage these 5-year bachelor's and also master's degrees. MPhil to be discontinued. All of you know, 2007 and 8 onwards, Usmania has discontinued. Many universities in the country also discontinued. But as a policy now, they said there is no need of MPhil program. So they have done away with this MPhil program now today in the higher education. Straight away, they can go for NET or SET, whatever they do. After that, they'll get admission directly into PhD program. You know about the tenure rules, regulations of PhD program. Then credit transfer and academic bank of credits. You know, this bank of credit will keep ABC, preserve your credits, whatever you are. You and me also can continuously go on earning credits. I can do MOOCs, I can join for a diploma course, I can join for a degree course, I can join for a certificate course. All these courses, whatever I am pursuing, all these credits I can go and store in the academic bank of credit. And whenever I want, suppose my accumulated credits are there in the academic bank of credit, then I can take some degree and or whatever diploma I want by using these credits, and I can acquire the degrees. So like that, I can go anywhere to any university and can claim those kind of degrees. Then universities and autonomous degree you have to give them, and then multidisciplinary education and research in NERUs I have already discussed. Then job, we know about that, how Atmanirbhar Bharat we wanted to create. So we should have more of not seekers but job creators and providers should be there. That's what is our Prime Minister's dream. And socioeconomically disadvantaged groups also we have to take care, and new colleges in the those aspirational district and areas we have to open, and using technologies we have to use extensively this technology wherever it is necessary, where it can be made feasible in terms of quality or access, whatever way we can use the technology. Then we all know the paradigm shift from teacher centric to that of student centric, and focus is on the learning outcome, not on the marks or grades. And internships and real term learning we are encouraging more, because we say today a lot of education is going rote learning and theoretical based, nowhere practical the skills are being taught for children effectively. So they wanted everything and also they mentioned there should not be any much distinction between theory and practice. Whenever you are doing, you should also have a theory along with the practice should go hand in hand. So like that, technology and then teacher centric to student centric, and learning outcomes not on marks, internships and real time learning we should provide to children, like not giving all through the year theoretical exposure to children and only 1 month they go for internship. Instead, you can divide 50-50 or 40-60, whatever, wherever, whichever is good for you, for the children, for that particular course. You provide that kind of hands-on experiences for children as internships, giving them real-time experiences and learning. Then regulation system, as we have already discussed, too much of bodies regulating these institutes, a lot of variations and disparities between them. We all know from teacher education, there is no parity between UGC guidelines and NCT guidelines. We are suffering like anything in terms of calculation of workload or recruitment procedures. Everywhere we have a lot of issues because there is no parity between NCT and regulation and standards and UGC regulations and standards. So these things we have to really need to address. That's why they wanted to bring under one dome of the standards aside, and then the mainstream course will be taken care of by those 4 bodies which are under the NEP. Then teacher to focus on learning outcome, not on marks. Then internship. Regulatory system too much. So this is what I was telling. So too many regulatory bodies have become, and everybody is different. NBA is different, RCI different, NCT is different, and MCI is different. Everybody is differently. They are mandating the rules regulations. So this they wanted to nullify and bring some uniform procedures to everybody. Then focus is on this. I think I have already discussed at length about socioeconomically disadvantaged groups and how we need to address. A lot of outreach activities we can take, encourage the students to go out and then do a lot of outreach activities, because many children in the rural areas, either they don't have access to internet or don't have gadgets and don't know the tariffs or the schedules of admission. Suppose we have those for the state government. Similarly, we have Samarth portal for the central universities where they have to upload and apply for the various courses. And children, if they don't have access, don't have awareness, and are not sensitive to those things, to these things, how do they get the access to higher education? How can we achieve this 50% GRE ratio? So these are some of the concerns of all of us. So there, I think we have to really focus on this area, and government is also saying SCDGs, under SCDGs, they said we should create a lot of outreach activities, the universities and institutions, and also some philanthropists and NGOs have to conduct this kind of sensitization programs and outreach programs so that everybody will take part in these programs. So like that, we can create awareness and sensitize the people in the rural areas or wherever the access is not available, so that children will get access to higher education and also get the benefit and sensitize towards the scholarships, whatever are available, benefits available, funding agencies, scholarships, fellowships, whatever are there. We need to go out as an outreach activity and create this awareness amongst the rural and other SCDG aspirational districts. This is what is being said in that. Then separate strategies will be formulated to focus for reducing each of the category. Like, you have social background issues, economic issues, other issues, linguistic issues, geographic issues, so many different issues are there. So for each one of category, we need to plan separately those strategies which will really suit to that particular requirement or need. So these are some of the SCDG issues. And then ultimately we need to ensure the quality and also equity. We know that equity is not that easy situation in keeping in mind this kind of diversity that is there in this nation. So if we have to address all the children and create that equity to everybody, I think a lot of funding is needed, a lot of awareness is needed, a lot of attitudinal change is needed. And many philanthropists and also NGOs have to come forward, and even common community members and teachers fraternity should come forward. In your vicinity, I think we all have to start working to create that kind of awareness amongst the people, and also treating them equally, providing them opportunities and helping them, giving them helping hand holding. So many things we talk about. So all these things we have to do so that we can ensure the learning outcomes of the people who belong to this categories, social backwardness or economic backwardness, whatever it is. And also we need to plan certain very appropriate, suitable to that particular context. Some of the interventions the government is already planning, like giving fellowships, scholarships, and creating access. And if you see in 4.0, a lot of research was done, and they have extended all the NGOs and others. They have extended during pandemic and post-pandemic period. They have helped them by smartphones. Suppose in a family you have 3 people and 10 or 5 or 6 smartphones, so they borrowed from such people and they tried to provide them to children, and through mobile apps and through various gadgets and materials, they have gone to the families and they tried to help them out to enhance their numeracy and literacy, and reached out to unreached. Like that, they have numeracy, literacy. These all aspects they have taken care during and pandemic and post-pandemic period. So like that, they wanted to have all these various interventions so that the equity is ensured and quality also ensured. And gender, about gender, the gender discrimination, gender parity issues. We don't have gender parities both in education and also in employment. So we need to plan for all this parity, gender parity, and also gender equity. These schemes and interventions government is trying, and also the huge policy on transgender also is required. So these are all things also we are trying to really take care by the government. Then KGBVs, about that, how they have wanted to upgrade to 12 standards so that the children, the gender parity will come, and also more girl children will be encouraged with the quality education, and also financial support is given. About KGBVs. So all that they were encouraging KGBVs, and also safety of the children, protection of the rights of the children, sensitization towards gender issues. All this should become part and integral part of the curriculum. So this gender will be taken care of. Along with that, recent past, we have this transgender inclusion fund for female and transgender students also. They're extending some financial support by the government so that they get a lot of encouragement, support, and also they are treated on par with other people in the society. Then we also have for inclusive education for SC/ST, I have already told about aspirational districts and special attention is paid to them. In Telangana, we have fee reimbursement for all those socioeconomically backward people, and certain wherever dropouts are there, for them also they made lot of cash transfers. They provided bicycles to girls, students, and also boys, and they targeted all the scholarships to should reach to the children. So much of efforts are made by the government so that economically and socially backward groups will get lot of encouragement. And also, I have already told about aspirational district special zones. And bridge courses also they have devised so that children who come, because RT Right to Education Act said age appropriate classes. So they said bridge courses should be provided to children. So that bridge courses they are continuing in this policy also. And those who have already deprived previously, so for them there should be some kind of bridge courses for various reasons, maybe because of parental ailment or sibling care or dropout or migrant population for harvesting season, and various other factors are there. So with the result, children will lose their academic exposure. So for such children, there should be bridge courses devised by them. Then equality in the classroom, treatment of the teachers, inclusive classrooms with the universal design for learning should be introduced into the classrooms so that all of them are treated equally and inclusion will be there in terms of all aspects, whether it is infrastructure or teaching learning materials or various strategies. That's why we call universal design for learning. So all categories of children can use this teaching learning material, which is given under the universal design for learning. Similarly, gross enrollment ratio of SC/ST to reach to the national levels. Always they are behind the national average, national percentages. So they wanted to really bring on par with the national average at least and national rate at least. So these other things, this also I have already discussed to some extent, integrating vocational education at all levels, right from school to higher education. We said no, going to the artisans and other things. So they have used a word called Lok Vidya. That is in India, whatever is available in the artisans and local areas. So that education should be made into a part of our education. During 6th and 8th standard, those 10 days the children will go to learn those skills. If the child likes that particular vocation, they can adopt whatever vocation they like, they can do it. And by observing others, whatever aptitude they have, that skill they can continue in their high school and professionalizing that. And also open distance learning, they are encouraging skill gap analysis, they are doing and providing additional support by providing local opportunities. Like that vocational education, they say by 2025, at least 50% of the learners should have exposure to the vocational education. As I said, 98, 99% in Korea, Japan, and Germany they have, but in India we have less than maybe 0.2% or something like that, or maybe 2% or something like that. So nobody will go for that. So we have to enforce that, this, as I said, these all liberal arts, if we can encourage in the schools and colleges, I think we will become Atmanirbhar Bharat and all startups will be there and nobody will look for government employment because they all will be able to become entrepreneurs. So this is the dream of Modi ji and also our policy vision. Then support for the gifted. These all our teacher education all these things like NCRT, NCT, they are trying to provide that kind of packages and special support. And for the gifted children, some more modules. Modules can be graded modules. The simplest, like we used to have programmed instruction modules. Similarly, we can have graded learning packages. The same subject you can have at lower to the higher level. So the children, depending upon their capabilities and abilities, they can access these modules and they can learn. That's why they say support for the gifted children and also for the children with special talents, music, dance, or whatever they want. For such kind of talented children, there should be encouragement. Even for the sports, games, they wanted to have these Olympiads and competitions on par with other subjects. Like other day, we have seen yoga competitions. Similarly, sports, games, and other art forms, they're encouraged. Then use of technology to encourage these talented and gifted children. Like today, if you integrate technology, use AI apps or other apps, the children can learn on their own. They don't need a teacher support. You just give them support, helping hand, and integrated technology support. Then children can access and learn. Suppose you have today Diksha portal and other portals. Lot of videos are available. So just give them the access to those videos. The children, whatever they love, they like, and they learn on their own. So you don't need to monitor it. It is up to the child to learn whatever they learn. So a lot of videos available, a lot of books and repositories available. All that teacher has to provide encouragement to such gifted, talented children so that they don't left behind and uncared and their talents will not get kindled. So that is the whole issue. Then project-based clubs and all this. So a lot of efforts, lot of recommendations, lot of I can say the suggestions are given in this policy. And even for the B.Ed also, they said the rural merit children, whoever are there, for them they should provide some scholarship, merit scholarship, and then give them free education, provide them access in the ITEP, that is 4-year integrated teacher education program. So like that, they are encouraging the talented, meritorious students in the poor sectors, that is financially backward children, and they are encouraging scholarships for them also. Then children with special needs, all of us know about it. You are all sitting there are special education people. I don't need to talk about CW, what are policies have come, what recommendations are there. So where they wanted to really bring in, rope in, and create these inclusive classrooms. And for those children who need special attention, special care, you know about the profound cases and all that, the individual instruction, IPs, individual program of education has to be prepared, and community-based learning, all these, so all that we have to take care, and even universal design for learning also is suitable for those children. Then for the special needs, we have to provide alternate schools also we can provide, modules we can provide through NIOS. There are a lot of modules they are providing for children. So high quality modules when you have, you can give access to other children also for these modules, then automatically their quality will get enhanced. And lot of certificate courses are also available for both the teachers and also for the special educators. You can access these certificate courses and you can also get skills and empower in those areas. We know about the digital platforms, Diksha and other portals, and Swayam is mostly for higher education. They are trying to provide a lot of online courses apart from the international portals, Udemy, Khan, and a lot of, the platforms are there. Apart from that, MOOC is our indigenous platform. So we are encouraging MOOC platform, and a lot of money is being spent by them. And you know about this whole structure, I believe. Consortium for Educational Communication is there at New Delhi. Under that, there are about 21 EMRCs, educational multimedia centers are there across India. In Usmania campus itself, we have one EMRC under OU, one EMRC under EFL. Like that, across the country, we have 21 EMRCs. For them, they are giving some fund so that they are creating graduate level and postgraduate level courses they are designing. Earlier, it used to be assorted kind of proposals and course preparation, but now, last couple of years, they focused on 8 honors courses for BA, 8 honors courses they have designed, the MOOC courses. Now anybody can go and access those courses and they can get benefit out of those courses. And apart from that, they are also encouraging a lot of translation of the modules which are already prepared. So this translation, on other hand, it is going on. So like that, these centers are there to record our lectures and prepare our e-resources and repositories to offer the courses online through MOOC platform, and also create, they also said these resources, whatever are being prepared for online courses, in due course of time on Swayam Prabha, they are going to even post this all materials also. ఇది సుంతా మేడం. So like that, we have access to disadvantaged groups and inclusion. These are blended learning, hybrid mode, online mode, so many things are. So like that, Acha. Sorry. So this is where online and digital education also they are encouraging. And then adult and lifelong learning. All of you know about this adult lifelong learning. They are encouraging on foundational literacy and numeracy, both for children as well as the adults. Critical life skills, vocational skill development, basic education, continuing education, all these things under the adult and lifelong learning, because we know we have a department, I'm heading that department, no activities happening, but the very purpose of lifelong learning is we assume that learning never stops. It is lifelong process. So continuously we can access education and acquire skills and empower ourselves, not only teachers, but all the people, including the adults and everybody, till we die, we can continue this education. That is what is the very basis of this lifelong learning, because adults think I am grown up, so I don't need to learn. So these all concepts, old language. This is all. I will just stop there without going into those all aspects. I think this is what I thought. I would just share some of these ideas throughout this policy, and other aspects I have not touched, strategies for implementation, because a lot of strategies are there, whether it is clustering, some of them are looking for, some of them are going with the multidisciplinary concept, some of them are going with the those cluster kind of things. Hope you heard about it in Telangana. They have introduced this cluster mode where 9 different colleges have come together to introduce some of the courses. So students can move throughout these 4 or 9 colleges and they can complete their course. So that is where you have the kind of credit transfer will happen, and flexibility is there, and wherever whatever you want, all those courses you can acquire. There is no kind of fixed kind of silos kind of courses, science, social science, arts kind of things, but it would be a kind of a 4-year degree, 3-year degree, like that. Depending upon the courses that you pursue, probably you are given a degree, like our BA, BAD, BA, become BAD, and BSc BAD, depending upon the pedagogies and courses that you opt to take. Similarly, in the graduation also, they will look at your options and the courses that you have taken. Depending upon that suitable degree, if you do 3 years, 3-year degree, 4 years, 4-year degree, 5-year integrated program, 5-year integrated program, and those who complete 4-year program with the intensive research project, they are given straight away into PhD program admission. All this, So these all flexibilities they have provided, and you can continue your lifelong education. So with these few things, I would stop my presentation. My friends on the platform, you can ask questions, or then we can have interaction with the students. Anybody who on the platform, I think there are only 29 people. That means minus me and you, there are only 27 people. I don't know who they are. Some of them are known to us. Friends, you can share. I think most of you must have read these documents. And
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
we have covered almost entire gamut of this policy document.
Yes, ma'am.
అక్కడ అలో పార్టిసిపెంట్ ఎస్ ఎస్ మేడం అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి.
Yes,
ఏం ఓటు ఎంఆర్ ఓటు ఎంఆర్ పేరు మేడం మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి. మేడం చెప్పండి.
One second.
మేడం ఏముంది మేడం కాదు మేడం పేరు ఏముంది
నెంబర్ ఉంటుంది లేదు ఫస్ట్
I got it.
Okay. Please ask any questions. Please participate.
Friends, you want to say something also, you are welcome. Not only question, you can tell me, you have not said this one, this is what, you can also supplement, then I can also learn from you. all of us can mutually learn. Lot of developments have come, lot of frameworks have come. I wish all of you read this mentoring and credit framework and framework for school education, early childhood education, and 4.0, covering all the factors right from NEP to Industry 4.0. 4.0, I could not cover much. Reaching unreached, and also professional development of teachers, and then foundational literacy and numeracy. These are all 4 or 5 dimensions they have focused, and lot of research was done. And this whole document has given lot of statistics, how they have improved during pandemic period, and all that is covered in 4.0 education. It is available. This document is also available, and professional standards document recently released. Now debates are going on 12th and 13th at NCT and Delhi, New Delhi. So you can also participate, hopefully, if they give the chance. So all these frameworks, including global citizenship education also, there is also another 12 or 16 page document released by UGC that is also there. So all these documents, see that you make a copy or provide these all soft copies to your students on some platform wherever it is possible, and keep copies in the libraries and also post them in the groups so that all of them at least will read and see the documents. My concern is that everybody should know what is ABC, what is credit framework, what is credit transfer, what is mentoring, what is professional standard settings, what is global citizenship education. So school framework, AC framework, all this. We are only just ITEP guidelines. Everything you should keep them available, and debates you conduct in your groups. Okay. So friends, if there are no questions, we can wind up. Exactly. Acha, I said 3:30 I will start, but it is 4:30. I'm sorry for that. I didn't realize the time because it needs a lot of time. Minimum 3 hours, 4 hours. If you don't have, you can't cover at least minimum highlights of the policy document. Okay, whatever it is, hope I made some sense in this session. So friends, if there are no questions, we can wind up.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, very clearly given a lot of valuable information about NEP 2020 insights and reflections. On behalf of our Faculty of Education and our university, I would like to say thanks. So thank you so much, ma'am. You are spending
Question in the message.
Chat box lo something they must have.
valuable time for with us. One question is there, ma'am. Please
NEP 2020.
open the chat box and see, ma'am.
Distance program encourage. Is it possible? Skill training program, how it is possible? Yes, see, skill training is possible because India is known for its artisan culture, and India is known for the vocations and occupations. And today you have leather technology, food technology. When they introduce them into engineering courses, everybody is going for that. But when you say it is an occupation or anything like that, we get discouraged thinking it is very low and we have stigmas. So my whole concern, I have been sharing on various platforms. There are 512 liberal arts available in India. So we have to explore all these 512 vocations and skills, liberal arts that are available in our ancient scripts. And each one of them, if we encourage amongst the children, they would love to learn them and have their own enterprise. So we all will become entrepreneurs. We can all have startups, and we can have self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vikasit Bharat by 2047. This is the answer. We can have lot of things are available.
Yes.
And many a times I share with engineering graduates, India has lot of problems, maybe thousands and lakhs of problems we have related to our social life. So each of this problem, if we can have a startup, let us say garbage, recycling, anything, water, wastage of water or utilization of water or whatever, conservation of water, or anything, any subject you take, even career guidance, counseling, anything related to our occupations and our problems of the society. For everything, you can have a small idea and this idea can become a startup. That is one dimension. The other one is skills, vocations, occupations, artisan cultures, liberal arts, everything we can encourage. Now we are thinking only this mainstream education as education. So we need to plan all these things, right? So we can have it and they will be more flourishing. They will reduce unemployment. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Now
Thank
I
you so much.
request to Dr. Dayakar to say what of
Thank you so much. Okay.
Respected Professor Brunalini Madam Garu, on behalf of the Faculty of Education, Dr. B. R. Ambedkar Open University, I would like to express our deepest gratitude for your enlightening and thought-provoking lecture on insights and reflections on NEP 2020. Your wealth of knowledge and experience has truly inspired us, and we are grateful for the time you have taken to share it with us today. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the university authorities for their constant support, which has been instrumental in making this event possible. I would like to thank the MRRC, the Computer Center, and teaching staff, participants for their dedication and seamless coordination, ensuring the smooth conduct of today's program. Thank you once again, Professor Mukali Madam Garu, for your valuable contribution and to everyone involved in making a success. We look forward to more such enriching experiences in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Can I leave?
Tomorrow Vinayaka Chavithi, ma'am. We just
Happy Vinayak Chavithi to all of you.
you 5 years, so we just thank you, ma'am. Om Gangan.
Thank you, everybody. Can I leave? Can I leave? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Stop it. అక్కడ ఇంటూ ఉంది కదా రైట్ సైడ్ ఇక్కడ కింద కింద
ఇక్కడ యూట్యూబ్ లైవ్ ఉంది లైవ్
ఇప్పుడు చేసుకో అది యూట్యూబ్ లో క్లోజ్ చేయి లీవ్ అని కొట్టప్పుడు కింద ఉంది కదా